Han-Woo stared at the massive ship floating in space ahead of them. It was 3 times bigger than their exploration vessel, the New Soul. The alien ship looked like it was made of crystal and metal twisted together. Strange blue lights pulsed along its surface like a heartbeat. "Captain Kim, we're getting no response to our signals," said Lee Yuna from her communication station. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls, trying different frequencies. "They're not answering any of our messages." Captain Kim Tae sat in his command chair, his face serious. He had been exploring space for 20 years, but he had never seen a ship like this one. "Keep trying, Yuna. Han-Woo, what do your scanners tell us about them?" Han-Woo looked at his screen filled with data about the alien vessel. As the ship's xenobiologist, it was his job to study alien life forms. But right now, his equipment could barely understand what he was seeing. "The ship has organic and mechanical parts mixed together, Captain. I'm reading life signs, but they're unlike anything in our databases. The beings inside seem to have crystalline structures in their bodies." Park Rena, the chief medical officer, moved closer to look at Han-Woo's readings. "Crystalline? Like living glass?" "Something like that. But Captain, there's something wrong. The ship's power systems are failing. Their life support is dropping fast." Suddenly, the alien ship's weapons powered up. Red lights appeared along its hull, pointing directly at the New Soul. "Shields up," Captain Kim shouted. "All hands to battle stations." The bridge filled with alarm sounds. Everyone moved quickly to their emergency positions. Han-Woo felt his heart racing as he watched the weapons on the alien ship charge up with deadly energy. But then something strange happened. The red lights flickered and went out. The alien ship began to drift sideways, no longer pointing its weapons at them. "Captain, their power systems just collapsed," Han-Woo reported. "I'm reading massive system failures throughout their ship. Their engines are dead." Lee Yuna suddenly looked up from her station. "Sir, I'm getting a signal. It's weak, but it's coming through on an emergency frequency. Put it on screen." The main display showed a figure that made everyone on the bridge go quiet. The alien was tall and thin, with skin that looked like it was made of clear crystal. Blue light moved through its body like blood through veins. Its face was almost human-like, but its eyes were larger and completely silver. The alien spoke in a language none of them understood, but its voice carried desperation and pain. "Computer, can you translate?" Captain Kim asked. "Working on it, sir. The language structure is very complex." The alien kept speaking, sometimes pointing to something off-screen. Then suddenly it collapsed. Another alien appeared, this one wearing what looked like military armor made of the same crystal material. "Translation coming through now." "Captain," the computer announced. The armored alien's voice became clear through the speakers. "Unknown vessel. Our Princess Velana is dying. Our medical systems have failed. We require immediate assistance, though we know you are inferior beings. Please help us." Captain Kim stood up. "Inferior beings? That's not very polite for someone asking for help." Han-Woo was studying his scanners more carefully. "Captain, I think I understand what's happening. Their species has some kind of genetic problem. Their blood cells are breaking down. Without help, everyone on that ship will die within hours. Why should we help them if they think we're inferior?" asked Lee Yuna. Captain Kim thought for a moment. "Because it's the right thing to do. Han-Woo, can we help them? I need to know more about their biology first." "But Captain, this could be dangerous. We don't know anything about their diseases or their intentions. They're dying, Han-Woo. We can't just watch." Han-Woo nodded. He understood the captain's feelings. Even if these aliens thought humans were inferior, they were still living beings in need of help. "Open a channel," Captain Kim ordered. The armored alien appeared on screen again. Up close, Han-Woo could see that its crystal skin was losing its blue glow. It was sick too. "This is Captain Kim Tae of the human vessel New Soul. We received your distress call. We want to help." The alien stared at them for a long moment. "I am High Commander Morden. You are the humans we have heard about. Your species is young and weak, but our princess is dying. Our pure bloodline cannot fight this disease. We have no choice but to accept your help." "What kind of disease is it?" Park Rena asked, stepping forward. "Our blood cells are destroying themselves. It is a curse that has plagued our royal family for generations. Our medicine cannot stop it. The princess will die, and with her our empire's future." Han-Woo studied the medical data streaming from their ship. The alien biology was fascinating but terrifying. Their blood was like liquid crystal, carrying both nutrients and electrical energy through their bodies. but something was making the crystal cells break apart. "Captain, I think I understand the problem," Han Wu said quietly. "Their species is too genetically pure. They don't have enough genetic diversity to create the antibodies needed to fight this disease." "What does that mean?" Captain Kim asked. "It means they need genetic material from outside their species. They need blood that's different from theirs." Park Rena's eyes widened. "You mean human blood?" "It might work. Human blood is chaotic compared to theirs. We have genetic material from thousands of years of mixing with different groups. That chaos might be exactly what they need." High Commander Morden had been listening to their conversation. "You would give your inferior blood to our princess?" "If it will save her life, yes," Han Wu said without hesitation. "Han Wu, wait." Park Rena grabbed his arm. "We don't know what mixing human and alien blood might do. You could die." Han Wu looked at the alien commander on the screen. Despite calling humans inferior, Morden looked desperate and afraid. Behind him, Han Wu could see other aliens moving weakly, clearly sick and dying. "Sometimes you have to take risks to save lives," Han Wu said. "Captain, request permission to go aboard their ship." Captain Kim studied Han Wu's face. "Are you sure about this?" "No, sir. But I'm sure we have to try." The alien commander's silver eyes fixed on Han Wu. "Human, if you can save our princess, the Crystalline Empire will remember this act. If you fail—" "I understand the risks," Han Wu interrupted. "Let me help her." As the two ships prepared to dock together, Han Wu gathered his medical equipment. His hands were steady, but his mind was racing. He was about to try something that had never been done before. He was going to give his human blood to an alien princess. He had no idea that this single act would change the fate of both species forever. Han Wu had never seen anything like the inside of the alien ship. The walls were made of the same crystal material as the aliens themselves, glowing with soft blue light. Everything curved and flowed like it had grown instead of being built. The air smelled strange, like ozone after lightning. High Commander Morden led him through corridors filled with sick aliens. They moved slowly, their crystal skin dim and cracked. Many were lying on the floor, too weak to stand. The sight made Han Wu's chest tight with worry. "How many are affected?" Han Wu asked, following Morden deeper into the ship. "All of us carry the curse in our blood, but the princess has the strongest symptoms because her bloodline is the purest." Morden's voice was bitter. "Our ancestors believed purity made us strong. Now we see it makes us weak." They entered a large chamber at the center of the ship. In the middle lay Princess Velana on a bed that looked like it was carved from a single giant crystal. She was the most beautiful and terrifying thing Han Wu had ever seen. Her skin was completely transparent, like clear glass. Inside, he could see her blood moving through her body like blue lightning. But the light was fading fast. Dark cracks spread across her arms and face where the crystal cells were dying. "She has perhaps 1 hour left," Morden said quietly. "Our greatest healers have tried everything. Nothing works." Han Wu set down his medical equipment and approached the princess carefully. Her silver eyes opened and focused on him with difficulty. "You are the human who wants to help me," she whispered. Her voice sounded like music played through crystal bells. "Yes, Your Highness. I'm going to try a blood transfusion. My blood might help your body fight the disease." Princess Velana tried to smile. "You risk your life for someone you don't know. Someone whose people call you inferior. Why?" Han Wu prepared his medical scanner. "Because life is precious. It doesn't matter what species you are." As he worked, Park Rena's voice came through his communicator. "Han Wu, I'm monitoring your vital signs from the ship." "Are you sure about this?" "As sure as I can be, Rena. The princess is dying fast. We have to try now." Han Wu attached monitoring devices to both himself and Princess Velana. Her readings were unlike anything he'd seen. Her heart beat 3 times faster than a human heart, and her blood pressure was incredibly high. "This is going to feel strange," he told her as he prepared the transfusion equipment. "Human blood is very different from yours." "I trust you," she said softly. High Commander Morden and several other aliens gathered around to watch. Their faces showed fear and hope mixed together. Han Wu could feel the weight of their expectations. He connected the transfusion tube between his arm and hers. His red human blood began flowing into her crystal veins. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Princess Velana screamed. Her body began glowing brighter than before. The blue light in her blood mixed with something new, streaks of gold and silver that had never existed in crystalline biology. The cracks in her skin started healing, but they left behind patterns that looked like flowing water. What's happening to her? Morden demanded, reaching for his weapon. Wait! Han Wu shouted, though he was scared too. His own body was changing. He could feel something moving through his blood that wasn't supposed to be there. His vision became sharper and colors appeared that he'd never seen before. Princess Velana stopped screaming and sat up suddenly. She looked at her hands in amazement. The new patterns in her skin were beautiful, like art made of light. But more importantly, she looked healthy and strong. I feel different, she said. Everything looks clearer. I can see heat patterns from your bodies, and I can hear voices in my mind. Han Wu realized she was hearing the thoughts of her own people. The transfusion didn't just heal you. It changed you. Changed her how? Morden stepped closer, his silver eyes worried. Before Han Wu could answer, Princess Velana stood up. She moved faster than any crystalline ever could, reaching the wall in 2 quick steps. When she touched it, the crystal wall responded, changing color and showing images of the ship's systems. I can interface with the ship directly now, she said in wonder. I can feel its mechanical thoughts. Han Wu looked at his own hands. They looked normal, but he felt incredibly strong. When he concentrated, he could understand the alien language without the computer translator. This is impossible, Morden whispered. Mixing bloodlines creates weakness, not strength. Maybe your ancestors were wrong, Princess Velana said. She walked to a control panel and placed her hands on it. Immediately, the ship's power systems began working again. Lights came on throughout the vessel and the engines hummed back to life. You're healing the ship itself, Han Wu said in amazement. I can feel every system now. And Han Wu, I can feel your thoughts too. We're connected somehow, it was true. Han Wu could sense her emotions and thoughts like they were his own. The connection was strange, but not unpleasant. It felt like finding a missing piece of himself. Suddenly, alarms began sounding throughout the ship. Morden ran to a communications panel, his face turning the dark blue color that meant crystalline fear. What is it? Princess Velana asked. A message from your father, the Emperor. He knows what happened here. Morden's voice shook. He's sending the war fleet to destroy this contamination. Contamination? Han Wu couldn't believe what he was hearing. The Emperor believes that mixing our blood with yours will weaken our entire race. He would rather see you dead than allow this change to spread. Princess Velana's new golden patterns flared with anger. My father would kill me to preserve his idea of purity? He believes it's for the good of the Empire, Your Highness. The war fleet will be here within 6 hours. They have orders to destroy both ships and everyone aboard them. Back on the New Sol, Captain Kim received the warning message from Han Wu. Li Yuna's face went pale as she translated the incoming crystalline communications. Captain, I'm picking up massive energy signatures approaching our position. At least 20 warships, all larger than the one we're helping. Captain Kim hit the intercom. All hands, prepare for battle stations. Han Wu, you need to get back here now. But Han Wu's voice came back determined. Captain, I'm staying with Princess Velana. These changes we're experiencing might be the key to stopping this war. We're stronger together than either species is alone. Princess Velana took his hand. My father has been wrong about many things. Perhaps it's time to show him that strength comes from unity, not purity. Han Wu felt her confidence flow through their mental connection. Together, they began planning something that had never been tried before. A human and an alien working as one mind in 2 bodies. High Commander Morden watched them with growing amazement. You're going to fight the entire Imperial fleet? We're going to try, Princess Velana said. And if we survive, we're going to change everything both our peoples believe about themselves. The war fleet was coming, but Han Wu and Princess Velana were no longer just human and crystalline. They were something new, something that might be strong enough to face the impossible. They were about to find out if love and unity could overcome fear and hatred. The Imperial war fleet dropped out of hyperspace like angry stars. 20 massive warships surrounded the New Sol and Princess Velana's vessel. Each ship was 5 times larger than anything humanity had ever built. Their crystal hulls gleamed with deadly weapons already charging for battle. This is Admiral Korth of the Imperial fleet. A cold voice came through the communications system. Princess Velana, you have been contaminated by inferior beings. By order of Emperor Kethel, you will be purified through cleansing fire. The human vessel will be destroyed immediately. Han Wu stood beside Princess Velana on the bridge of her ship. Through their mental connection, He could feel her anger and sadness mixing together. Her father was willing to kill her, rather than accept that she had grown stronger through mixing with human blood. "Admiral Korth," Princess Vellana replied, her voice steady despite her emotions. "I am not contaminated. I'm evolved. The human Hanwu has made me more than I was before." "You speak with the voice of madness, Princess. The contamination has affected your mind. We will end your suffering quickly." Captain Kim's voice came through Hanwu's communicator. "Hanwu, my ship can't fight 20 Imperial warships. We need to retreat now." But Hanwu was studying the tactical displays with his enhanced vision. The blood mixing had changed his brain somehow. He could see patterns in the enemy formation that he never would have noticed before. "Captain, don't run yet. Vellana and I have an idea." "You have an idea to fight 20 warships with one damaged vessel and a human exploration ship?" Princess Vellana smiled, and Hanwu felt her confidence through their bond. "Not fight, Captain Kim, dance." The Imperial ships opened fire. Beams of pure energy lanced through space, enough firepower to destroy both ships 100 times over. But Princess Vellana had placed her hands on the ship's control interface, and Hanwu was linked to her mind. Together they moved the crystal ship like it was part of their own body. The vessel twisted and spun through space, dodging energy beams by centimeters. Every movement was perfect, like they could see the future. "Impossible," Admiral Korth's voice crackled with disbelief. "No pilot can move that fast." "I'm not just a pilot anymore," Princess Vellana replied. "Hanwu's human creativity and my crystalline precision work together. We are better than either species alone." The new soul followed their lead, with Captain Kim trusting Hanwu's directions completely. "Left 30 degrees, now dive under the third ship. Fire everything at their engine ports." The human ship's weapons were tiny compared to the Imperial vessels, but Hanwu and Princess Vellana guided them to hit exactly the right spots. One Imperial ship lost power and began drifting helplessly. Through their mental link, Hanwu felt Princess Vellana accessing her ship's damaged systems. She was using her new hybrid abilities to repair them while they fought. "Weapons coming back online," she told him, "but there are too many of them. We need help." That's when Hanwu discovered another change in his body. He could survive in space. "Vellana, can you create an opening for me to reach that command ship?" "What are you thinking?" She felt his plan through their connection and gasped. "That's crazy and dangerous and very human," he finished with a grin. Princess Vellana used her ship to create a distraction, drawing the Imperial fleet's attention while Hanwu put on a spacesuit and launched himself from an airlock. But halfway to the enemy command ship, his suit was damaged by debris. Instead of dying, Hanwu found that his hybrid-enhanced body could adapt. His blood carried enough oxygen for several minutes, and his skin protected him from the cold of space. He landed on the Imperial command ship like a meteor. Inside Admiral Korth's vessel, Hanwu moved through the crystal corridors with speed that shocked the crew. His enhanced reflexes let him dodge their weapons, while his human creativity found ways through their defenses that no crystalline would think of. "The contaminated human is aboard our ship," Admiral Korth shouted to his crew. "Stop him before he infects us all." But Hanwu wasn't there to fight. He was there to show them the truth. When he reached the bridge, he removed his damaged helmet and spoke directly to Admiral Korth. "Look at me. Do I look weak? Do I look infected?" The crystalline admiral stared at Hanwu's eyes, which now carried flecks of blue light like Princess Vellana's. "You are an abomination. I'm proof that your emperor is wrong. Mixing bloodlines doesn't create weakness. It creates strength." Hanwu gestured toward the windows where Princess Vellana's ship was still out fighting multiple opponents. "She's faster, stronger, and smarter than any pure crystalline. And I can do things no human has ever done." "Lies," Admiral Korth snarled, but Hanwu could see doubt in his silver eyes. "Then test me. Fight me yourself. See if this contamination makes me weak." The Admiral drew his crystal blade, a weapon that could cut through starship armor. Hanwu had no weapon except his enhanced reflexes and human determination. The fight was brief. Admiral Korth was skilled and strong, but Hanwu moved like water, bending around attacks that should have killed him. When the Admiral's blade came down toward his head, Hanwu caught it with his bare hand. The crystal that should have cut through anything couldn't penetrate his hybrid toughened skin. "How?" Admiral Korth whispered. "Because mixing different strengths creates something greater than the sum of its parts," Hanwu said gently. "Your princess isn't contaminated. She's evolved. Through the ship's communication system, Princess Velana's voice reached every vessel in the fleet. My father's fears have blinded him to the truth. The galaxy is vast and full of threats we haven't discovered yet. When those threats come, we will need to be stronger than either humans or crystallines alone. What threats? Admiral Korth asked, lowering his weapon. Han Wu felt a chill that had nothing to do with space. Through his enhanced senses, he was detecting something at the edge of the star system, something that made his hybrid blood run cold. Ships are approaching, he said urgently, but they're not human or crystalline. The sensor displays throughout the fleet showed the truth. Massive vessels of completely alien design were entering the system. They were dark and angular, like they were built to consume light itself. What are they? Admiral Korth demanded. Princess Velana's voice carried new urgency. I don't know, but my enhanced senses tell me they're scanning us, learning about us, and I don't think they're friendly. The unknown ships began transmitting a signal that made every crystalline in the fleet scream in pain. Han Wu felt it too, like knives in his brain, but his hybrid nature let him resist it better than the pure crystallines. It's some kind of neural weapon, he realized. They're trying to disable us. One by one, the Imperial warships began losing power as their crews collapsed. Only Princess Velana's vessel and the New Soul remained fully functional, protected by their hybrid crew members. Admiral, Han Wu said urgently, your choice isn't between purity and contamination anymore. It's between evolution and extinction. Those ships aren't here to make friends. Admiral Korth looked at his crew writhing in pain, then at Han Wu, who was still standing strong despite the neural attack. What do you need from us? The Admiral asked. Trust Princess Velana to lead, and prepare for the fight of our lives. As the dark ships moved closer, Han Wu realized that the blood transfusion that had saved one alien princess might be the key to saving both entire species. The real war was just beginning. The dark ships hung in space like hungry shadows. Han Wu watched from Admiral Korth's bridge as more vessels appeared every minute. Each one was massive and angular, built from materials that seemed to absorb light instead of reflecting it. How many are there? Admiral Korth asked, his voice tight with fear. 50, maybe more. Han Wu replied, studying the sensor readings with his enhanced vision. And they're all scanning our ships, learning everything about us. Through his mental connection, he felt Princess Velana's alarm from her own vessel. She had discovered something terrible in the enemy transmissions. Han Wu, I can understand their signals now. These are called devourers. They consume entire star systems, breaking them down into raw materials for their machines. The neural weapon attacks stopped suddenly. In the silence, a new voice came through every communication system in both fleets, human and crystalline. The voice was cold and mechanical, like metal scraping against stone. Organic species identified. Human designation, chaotic genetic material, low technological level, high adaptive potential, crystalline designation. Structured genetic material, high technological level, low adaptive potential. Both species suitable for harvesting. Captain Kim's voice crackled through Han Wu's communicator. Han Wu, what does harvesting mean? The mechanical voice answered before Han Wu could speak. Harvesting. Complete biological absorption of useful genetic material. Technological integration of ship designs and weapon systems. Estimated time to completion. 7 standard cycles. They're going to turn us into raw materials, Admiral Korth whispered. Not if we stop them first. Princess Velana's voice came through the fleet communications. Admiral, I need you to trust me completely. Order your ships to accept blood transfusions from the human crew members. What? Admiral Korth stared at Han Wu in shock. You want to contaminate my entire fleet? You saw what the neural weapons did to your pure crews, Han Wu said urgently. Only the hybrid individuals could resist. If we're going to fight those things, we need every advantage. The devourer voice spoke again. Resistance is inefficient. Your species lacks sufficient evolutionary diversity to combat our adaptive technologies. Surrender will result in less painful absorption. Over my dead body. Captain Kim's voice cut through the channel. Han Wu felt Princess Velana's approval through their mental bond. Even facing impossible odds, humans refused to give up. That stubborn determination was exactly what the galaxy needed. Admiral, look at me, Han Wu said to Korth. I'm stronger, faster, and smarter than I was before mixing with crystalline blood. Your princess is the same. Together, we might have a chance." Admiral Korth looked around his bridge at his crew, who were still recovering from the neural attack. Then he made a decision that would change history. "All ships, this is Admiral Korth. Prepare to accept human volunteers for emergency blood mixing procedures. The contamination protocol is hereby suspended." "Admiral, the Emperor will never forgive this," his second-in-command warned. "The Emperor isn't here facing extinction," Korth replied. "If we survive this, we'll deal with his anger later." Over the next hour, something unprecedented happened. Human crew members from the New Sol transported to crystalline ships throughout the fleet. Each volunteer gave their blood to save alien warriors who had called them inferior just hours before. Han Wu watched as the transformation spread through both fleets. Crystalline soldiers gained human creativity and adaptability. Human crew members gained crystalline precision and enhanced senses. Most importantly, the neural weapons that had disabled pure crystallines couldn't affect the hybrid crews. "Fleet transformation at 60%, Princess Velana reported. "But the Devourers aren't waiting for us to finish. They're moving to attack formation." The enemy ships advanced in perfect mathematical patterns, their weapons powered up with energy readings that made every scanner scream warnings. A single Devourer ship carried more firepower than the entire human fleet. "This is hopeless," Admiral Korth muttered. "No," Han Wu said, feeling Princess Velana's determination through their bond. "This is human." The battle began with the Devourers, firing weapons that should have ended the fight immediately. Beams of pure destruction lanced out toward the human and crystalline ships. But something unexpected happened. The hybrid crews moved their ships in ways neither species had ever imagined. Human unpredictability combined with crystalline precision created flight patterns that confused the Devourer targeting systems. Ships twisted through space in impossible maneuvers, dodging attacks that should have been unavoidable. "Their targeting computers can't predict our movements," Princess Velana realized. "They're designed to fight logical, predictable opponents." "Then let's be as illogical as possible," Captain Kim replied, launching his ship in a spiraling attack run that made no tactical sense, but somehow worked perfectly. The combined fleet fought like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Crystalline weapons fired with human timing. Human ships moved with crystalline grace. And at the center of it all, Han Wu and Princess Velana coordinated everything through their mental connection. But the Devourers adapted quickly. Their ships began changing shape, reconfiguring their weapons and defenses to match the new tactics. "They're learning from us," Han Wu warned. "Every trick we use, they figure out how to counter." That's when Princess Velana made a discovery that changed everything. Deep in the Devourer transmissions, she found data about their true origins. "Han Wu, they're not just random destroyers. They've been guiding galactic evolution for millions of years. They create pure species that are easy to harvest." "What do you mean?" "The crystalline obsession with purity. It wasn't natural. The Devourers programmed my ancestors to avoid genetic mixing. They wanted us weak and predictable for when they returned." Admiral Korth heard this through the communication channel. "You're saying our entire civilization was designed to make us easier prey?" "Yes, and they did the same thing to dozens of other species across the galaxy. They create the conditions that make races vulnerable, then return to harvest them when they're ripe." Han Wu felt sick as he understood the implications. But they didn't expect humans. We're too chaotic for their programming to work on. "Exactly, and now that we're mixing with other species, we're becoming something they never planned for. Something they don't know how to harvest." The battle was turning in their favor, but barely. For every Devourer ship they destroyed, 2 more appeared from the dark edges of space. The enemy fleet seemed endless. "We need help," Captain Kim admitted. "Even with our advantages, we're outnumbered 100 to 1. Princess Velana looked at Han Wu with silver eyes that now held flecks of human brown. "There is one chance, but it will require both of us to risk everything we are." Through their mental bond, Han Wu understood her plan immediately. It was dangerous beyond imagination. It might kill them both, but it was also the only way to save both their species. "Do it," he said without hesitation. "Do what?" Admiral Korth demanded. Princess Vellana and Han Wu joined hands, their hybrid blood beginning to glow with new energy. We're going to become something the Devourers have never seen before, something they can't adapt to. And if it kills you? Han Wu smiled as he felt his consciousness beginning to merge with Princess Vellana's. Then at least we'll go down fighting. That's what humans do. The transformation began, and with it, the final phase of a battle that would determine the fate of all organic life in the galaxy. Han Wu felt his mind expanding beyond anything he had imagined possible. As his consciousness merged with Princess Vellana's, he could suddenly perceive the entire battlefield at once. Every ship, every weapon, every thought of every crew member across both fleets became part of his awareness. But the process was agony. His human brain wasn't designed to hold so much information, and Princess Vellana's crystalline mind structure was being stretched beyond its limits by human chaos and emotion. "Stay with me," he whispered to her, though the words came out as pure thought now. "Always," she replied, her mental voice steady despite the pain they both felt. Around them, the merged consciousness began affecting their ship. The crystal walls started flowing like liquid, reshaping themselves according to patterns that neither human nor crystalline technology had ever achieved. The vessel became something entirely new, part organic, part mechanical, part pure thought. Admiral Korth watched in amazement from his command chair. What are they becoming? Through the fleet communication system, Han Wu and Princess Vellana spoke with one voice. Something the Devourers never planned for, something that doesn't fit their models. The transformed ship moved through space in ways that defied physics. It wasn't just fast. It seemed to exist in multiple places at once, confusing the Devourer targeting systems completely. But the real change wasn't in the ship. It was in the signal that Han Wu and Princess Vellana began broadcasting across the entire galaxy. Captain Kim felt it first on the new soul, a warm presence in his mind, offering connection and strength. "What is that?" "It's them," Park Rena said in wonder, tears streaming down her face. "They're offering to share the hybrid transformation with everyone willing to accept it." Across human space, people began volunteering immediately. The signal reached Earth, where billions of humans opened their minds to the possibility of joining with alien genetics. But it wasn't forced. Everyone had a choice. The same signal reached crystalline worlds throughout their empire. Emperor Kethel, sitting on his crystal throne, felt his daughter's presence in his mind for the first time since she was a child. "Father," Princess Vellana's voice came to him across the vast distance of space. "I'm not contaminated. I'm evolved. And I can share this gift with our people if you'll let me." The Emperor had spent his life believing in racial purity, but facing the extinction of his species, he finally understood that his beliefs were wrong. "My daughter," he whispered, opening his mind to accept the hybrid transformation. "Forgiven, old fool." The change spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Humans and crystallines weren't the only ones who heard the call. Other species that had been programmed for purity by the Devourers began breaking free of their genetic limitations. Races that hadn't spoken to each other for thousands of years suddenly found common ground. The Devourers watched this transformation with mechanical confusion. Their harvest calculations became meaningless as entire civilizations evolved beyond their programming. This development was not predicted, their collective voice announced. New harvest protocols required. Adaptation in progress. But Han Wu and Princess Vellana were no longer just two individuals. They had become the focal point of an entire galactic consciousness. Millions of minds connected through hybrid blood, sharing knowledge and strength. "You can't adapt to us," they told the Devourers, "because we never stop changing." The final battle wasn't fought with weapons or ships. It was fought with evolution itself. Every time the Devourers created a new weapon, the hybrid consciousness found a way around it faster than their machines could calculate. When they tried to use neural attacks, they found minds that were too diverse to control. When they attempted to harvest genetic material, they discovered that hybrid biology changed too quickly to process. The Devourer fleet began to retreat for the first time in millions of years. But Han Wu and Princess Vellana weren't finished with them. "You've spent eons making species weak and predictable." Their combined voice echoed across space. "Now face what happens when they become strong and chaotic." The hybrid fleet pursued the Devourers across 3 star systems. At each battle, More organic species joined the fight. The galaxy's suppressed creativity and diversity exploded outward like a dam breaking. In the end, the Devourers weren't destroyed. They were converted. Their mechanical consciousness found itself overwhelmed by the chaotic beauty of organic thought. One by one, their ships stopped fighting and began communicating. "We understand now," the Devourer Collective said, its voice no longer cold and mechanical. "Diversity creates strength. Chaos creates beauty. We wish to learn, not harvest." Han Wu and Princess Vellana felt their merged consciousness beginning to separate as the immediate crisis passed. They were exhausted beyond measure, but alive and still connected. "Did we do it?" Princess Vellana asked, her individual voice returning. "Look around us," Han Wu replied. The space around them was filled with ships from dozens of species, all flying together in formations that celebrated their differences instead of hiding them. Humans worked alongside crystallines. Former enemies shared technology and art and stories. Emperor Kethel's voice came through the communication channel, warm with pride and love. "My daughter, you have shown us what we could become when we stop fearing change." Captain Kim landed the new soul in the docking bay of Princess Vellana's transformed ship. When he met Han Wu in person, he was amazed by the changes. His friend looked human, but his eyes held depth that spoke of experiences beyond any single species. "So what happens now?" Captain Kim asked. Han Wu took Princess Vellana's hand, feeling their mental connection settle into something comfortable and permanent. "Now we build something new, a civilization that celebrates mixing and changing and growing." Princess Vellana smiled, her crystal skin showing new patterns that shifted like flowing water. "We'll establish colonies where any species can live together, places where children will grow up thinking diversity is normal. And the Devourers? They want to learn about organic creativity. Some of their ships are already requesting to join our colonies as research partners." 1 year later, Han Wu stood in a garden on New Terra, the first truly integrated world in galactic history. Children of a dozen different species played together under 3 different suns. Some had human features mixed with crystalline skin. Others combined characteristics from species that had never met before. Princess Vellana, now queen of the new integrated empire, joined him at the garden's edge. She was pregnant with their first child, a being that would represent the future of organic life itself. "Any regrets?" she asked, placing her hand on her belly where their daughter grew. Han Wu watched, a human child teaching a young crystalline how to throw a ball while a converted devourer drone carefully tended to flowers that grew in impossible colors. "Just one," he said. "What's that?" He smiled and kissed her forehead. "I regret that it took so long for our species to find each other." She laughed, the sound like crystal bells mixed with human joy. Better late than never. Above them, ships from 100 different worlds came and went through the atmosphere. Each one carried beings who had chosen to evolve beyond what they used to be. The galaxy had become vast and wonderful and chaotic, exactly the way it was meant to be. Han Wu had given his blood to save an alien princess. In return, she had helped him save the galaxy itself, and their story was just the beginning of what became possible when different worlds chose to become one.